The mirror has lied to you your entire life. Every morning it shows you a face. Every day, the world calls that face by a name. Over the years, people tell you who you are. Your family gives you an identity. Society gives you a role. Your failures give you a label. Your successes build a reputation. One day you wake up believing that all of it is you. But what if none of it is? What if the person you've been defending isn't the real you at all? That question haunted one of the most powerful men in history. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire stretching across 3 continents. Millions obeyed his commands. He possessed wealth, power, and glory beyond imagination. Yet when he sat alone at night, writing in his private journal, he kept returning to a disturbing realization. Everything people admired about him could disappear in a single moment. His throne could be taken. His body would grow old. His name would one day become dust. If all of those things vanished, what would remain? That wasn't philosophy for entertainment. It was survival. The strange part is that your life may not look anything like his, but the battle inside your mind is almost identical. Every day you collect pieces of yourself from other people. A compliment becomes your confidence. A criticism becomes your insecurity. A job title becomes your value. A relationship becomes your identity. Slowly, without noticing, your sense of self is outsourced. The moment someone takes one of those things away, you don't just feel pain, you feel like you're disappearing. That's why rejection feels unbearable. That's why failure feels personal. That's why silence from someone you care about can make you question your worth. The problem isn't the event. The problem is that you've confused your identity with things that were never truly yours. Epictetus understood this long before modern psychology existed. Born into slavery, he owned almost nothing. His body could be controlled. His freedom could be stolen. Even his future belonged to someone else. Yet he discovered something that no emperor could purchase, and no master could confiscate. There is a part of you that remains untouched by the outside world. He realized that while everything external could be taken away, one thing always remained under his command: the way he chose to respond. That discovery transformed a slave into one of history's greatest teachers. Today, psychologists describe something surprisingly similar. They call it self-concept. When your identity depends entirely on external approval, your emotional life becomes unstable. Every opinion acts like a remote control for your happiness. One harsh comment ruins your day. One compliment lifts your mood. You're no longer living from within. You're reacting to whatever the world throws at you. And here's the frightening part. Many people spend their entire lives without noticing this invisible prison. A child who is repeatedly told he's the smart one grows terrified of making mistakes. A teenager praised only for beauty begins fearing age. A businessman known for success secretly panics at every setback because losing money feels like losing himself. Different stories, same trap. The Roman philosopher Seneca watched this happen among the wealthiest citizens of Rome. Their homes grew larger, their influence expanded, their names became famous. Yet inside, many of them became weaker. The more they possessed, the more they feared losing it. Fear wasn't coming from poverty, it was coming from attachment. The deeper they tied their identity to external things, the more fragile they became. That pattern hasn't changed in 2,000 years. The only difference is that now the mirrors are digital. Social media constantly whispers the same dangerous message: become someone worth looking at. count the followers, chase the likes, measure your value through numbers that disappear as quickly as they appear. Without realizing it, people begin performing instead of living. They stop asking, "Who am I?" They start asking, "How do I appear?" Those two questions create completely different lives. One searches inward, the other never stops looking outside. Marcus Aurelius warned himself about this every single day. He reminded himself that praise and blame belong to other people. They rise and fall like the weather. Building your identity on them is like building a house on sand. He wasn't trying to become emotionless. He was trying to become unshakable, because a person who knows who they are doesn't need constant reassurance. They don't panic every time life changes. They don't collapse because one chapter ends. They understand that roles change. Character remains, and maybe that's the hardest truth of all. You've spent years improving your career, improving your appearance, improving your image. But how much time have you spent discovering the person beneath all of it? Because sooner or later, life removes every mask. The question is whether there will still be someone underneath when it does. One of the greatest illusions the human mind creates is this: I know myself. But if that were true, why do people change completely after a breakup? Why does losing a job make someone feel worthless? Why does retirement leave successful people feeling empty? These moments don't create a new person. They expose how much of that person's identity was borrowed from circumstances. Roman history offers a powerful example. When Emperor Nero ruled Rome, countless senators shaped their personalities around his approval. They laughed when he laughed. They praised every decision, even the disastrous ones. Their identity depended on staying close to power. The day Nero fell, many of those same men had no idea who they were anymore. They had spent years acting instead of living. Their masks had become so convincing that they forgot there was ever a face beneath them. That danger never disappeared. It simply changed its clothes. Today, people build identities around careers, relationships, political opinions, social media profiles, or even the image of being successful. They protect those identities with incredible energy because questioning them feels like questioning their existence. This is why simple disagreements become personal wars. It isn't the opinion being attacked, it's the identity attached to it. Modern psychology explains this through something called identity fusion, when your beliefs or roles become inseparable from your sense of self. Any challenge feels like a direct attack on your survival. Your brain reacts emotionally before it reacts rationally. Suddenly, you're defending an image rather than searching for truth. Marcus Aurelius trained himself to avoid that trap. Despite ruling an empire, he constantly reminded himself that being emperor was only a temporary role. It wasn't his soul. It wasn't his character. It was simply a responsibility entrusted to him for a short period of time. One illness, one betrayal, or one battle could take it away. That perspective made him unusually calm in chaos. He wasn't attached to the costume. He focused on the person wearing it. This is where many lives quietly drift off course. People spend decades polishing the costume while neglecting the character inside. They become experts at appearing confident without ever becoming secure. They master looking successful while secretly feeling lost. From the outside, everything seems perfect. In private, they don't recognize themselves. Have you ever noticed how uncomfortable silence can be? The moment there's nothing to distract you, your mind begins asking questions you've been avoiding. That's why many people keep themselves constantly busy. Endless scrolling, endless entertainment, endless noise, not because they enjoy it, but because silence introduces them to someone they no longer understand. Seneca often chose voluntary solitude, not because he hated people, because he knew the mind speaks most honestly when no audience is watching. He believed that if you cannot sit quietly with yourself, then your relationship with yourself still needs work. That idea feels almost impossible today. Every spare second is filled. A notification, a video, a conversation, another distraction. Yet beneath all that noise is a voice that never stopped waiting. Your own. The real journey isn't about becoming someone new. It's about removing everything that was never truly you in the first place. The fear, the expectations, the labels, the constant need to impress. Piece by piece, those layers begin falling away. At first it feels uncomfortable, then it feels peaceful. Eventually it feels like freedom. Epictetus once suggested that every difficult situation asks only one question. What part of this is truly under your control? That single question has extraordinary power. You can't control whether people admire you. You can't control whether life stays comfortable. You can't control whether others understand your intentions. But you can control whether those things define you. That's the dividing line between a fragile identity and a resilient one. A fragile identity needs constant protection. A resilient identity needs only honesty. Perhaps that's why the strongest people often appear the quietest. They aren't trying to convince the world who they are. They already know, and once a person reaches that point, something remarkable happens. Praise no longer intoxicates them. Criticism no longer destroys them. Success becomes a responsibility instead of an addiction. Failure becomes a lesson instead of a sentence. They stop chasing an identity because they have finally discovered one that cannot be taken away. The world will always offer you new masks to wear. The harder question is whether you'll keep accepting them or finally have the courage to meet the person who has been waiting underneath them all along. Because the greatest mystery in your life has never been the future. It has always been you.